Remember those online kids games? Games like Poptropica, Club Penguin and Weevils? Games we used to play a lot as a kid but have now either been shut down or the player base has decreased massively. Well, I'm here today to play those 4 games and see if they've been abandoned or if they're still popping. And to see how abandoned they really are, I have to make at least one friend. Also, thank you to Globert for the idea. The first game is Club Penguin. Let's be honest, we used to play this game when we was a child. Like for me, I used to grind this game, man. I used to play it all the time when I was younger. This game was like a huge part of my childhood. When Club Penguin Island was coming out, I think I was one of the few people who was actually excited for it. So I went to play Club Penguin Island and that game was completely dead. And then I realized Club Penguin Island and the OG Club Penguin like got shut down, and that actually did like make me upset for a bit. Anyway, I'm gonna hop on Club Penguin Rewritten and see if people still play it or not and if it's abandoned. First I make myself a Club Penguin account and then I meet my friend at the snowfall. We then go to Ski Hill and I start racing him and I beat him 2 times. Then I play a rando and this rando beats me and then starts fucking flexing on me. After that I play Hydro Hopper. Hydro Hopper was really fun. I enjoyed that game a lot. Like while I was playing it, it brought back memories of Club Penguin when I was younger. Then I remember that I need to stay on track and meet some friends. So I go to the stadium and I message them telling them I want to be friends. They tell me I need to get a car seat first and then they'll become my friend. So I go to the gift shop. Then I look through the catalogue and see no UK flags. This is racism. Deeps, there's no flags for the UK. They have an Israeli flag. That's stuff for love. They have the Scottish flag. That's crazy. Oh, here's the car. I realized I don't have enough money for the suit. So I start grinding the kart surfer. After I made enough money, which is around 1,000 coins, I go back to the gift shop and I buy the car suit. Then I head off to the stadium and then I beg for someone to be my friend. And then I finally make a friend. Yes! I made a friend! Let's go! Who sees? I made a friend! Then I played Card-Jitsu with my friend. Card-Jitsu was a favorite game of mine. I loved playing the main game, but also especially I loved playing fire, water and snow. You know, I actually used to struggle with the water Card-Jitsu when I was younger because my laptop was bare buggy. But when I got a better laptop, that game was so fun. And then I try to get my belt and then the game crashes. After that I call it GG and that's the end of Club Penguin. I think we can safely assume that Club Penguin is not dead. When I was younger, I used to love playing Poptropica. How I got into Poptropica was when I was reading Dive the Wimpy Kid. I saw that the creator of Dive the Wimpy Kid also made Poptropica, so it made me want to check it out. Some of my friends and cousins played Poptropica, so I decided to play it, and I loved Poptropica when I was younger, especially the superpowered island. Anyway, I'm gonna see if Poptropica is still popping or if it's dead. So I hop into Poptropica and I realized that it's on Cool Maps games for some reason. So I went to Google to check out why, and I realized that Poptropica got merged into Cool Maps games and the official Poptropica website was closed. I was like, alright then, whatever. So I decided to hop on one of my favorite islands, which was Superpower Island. It was like one of the islands that I loved as a kid and I really wanted to replay it again. So I go onto the map to, you know, find the island and I see it's not there. I'm like, what the fuck? So I check on Google and I realized all the OG islands went. And then I wanted to meet Seeps, but Seeps, like, he got tired with the game, man. He was like, fuck this game, right? So I go to the arcade and I realized there's no one in the fucking arcade. This game is completely dead. I think it's safe to assume that Poptropica has been abandoned. MovieStarPlanet is a game my sisters used to like a lot, which got me to play it. And in the game, I'm pretty sure you're trying to be like a celebrity and you're trying to get like autographs from people and like you can make moves and shit. I can't lie, making the movies in MovieStarPlanet was so fun. But I'm gonna go in there and see if MovieStarPlanet is abandoned or if people still play it. First I designed my character. Once I made my character, I go and try and look for people to be friends with. First I go around begging people to be my friend and I send them messages and stuff. But then I realized that this girl, she sent me like a friend request or whatever. So then I replied to her and then we start talking. We just talk about how MovieStarPlanet was like our childhood, how we used to play this game when we were younger. And then I ask for her age. She says she's 18. Then I tell her I'm 22 and she calls me an old man. Like, that's crazy, I can't lie. And then like ask her where she's from. She's from the UK, same as me. And yeah, we just like, you know, talk with each other and like, you know, get to know each other more. This girl sends me like an autograph, so I walk one at her and like we talk. Like, I ask her where she's from and then she asks for my Snapchat. I can't lie, your boy's gassed. Do you wanna come my way? She wanna come my way. So she messages on Snap and asks for how I look like. So I send a catfish and she's feeling it, but she don't believe it's me. Anyway, I ask her for how she looks like and she says to check her profile. But I was fiddling around with my phone for bare long trying to get it set up that when I did eventually look at her, and I can't lie, she was laying, I was feeling her ting. But like, I replied the message saying, are you brown? And she never replied. GG's. Anyway, I think it's safe to assume that MovieStarPlanet is not abandoned. I loved Bin Weevils as a kid, but the people in my primary, they didn't like it for some reason. But Bin Weevils is a game similar to Club Penguin where you could do mini games and stuff like that, and you basically get coins and you can spend those coins however you want. Anyway, I'm gonna see if Bin Weevil is abandoned or people still play it. So I download the Bin Weevil client and start designing my character. Once I design my character, I do the tedious intro, which took forever, especially the brain drain, whatever. It was so long, man. I had to do some like multiplication, addition, and it was like bugging out. I had to restart my client just to get past the intro. But once I did that, I go around the islands and I beg people to be my friend. This guy like helps me out and he adds me as a friend, and after I play some games with people like Connect 4, and I also play Squares. There aren't that many people in Bin Weevils, but I wouldn't say it's abandoned.
I was 19 with bricks and sticks, all the man on my block know I took those trips. 5 year min when I took those risks, got L for the M3 China. Man live in a war zone, ain't no resurgence, see my man.